Stix was released in 1981 by Taito. It has no relation to any sort of martial arts or breakfast cereals. It has everything to do with one of the most fearsome enemies in gaming history, the kicks. The kicks may be just lines, but the sound it makes that you will hear in your nightmares and the way that it seems to be able to read your mind and predict your movements, gaming nightmare. Deep down, the kicks may have been pretty nice because he was invited to Fix-It Felix Jr.'s anniversary party. In the game Kicks, you control the Stix. Your job as the Stix is to claim portions of the board and not get destroyed by the kicks. The Stix has two draw speeds. The blue faster line has less risk but lower points. The orange slower line has more points but is more risky. A good strategy is to build small structures around a larger open area and then close it off with an orange line for big points. You generally have to capture 75% of the board, but sometimes there are two kicks in a level. If this happens, you can split them into two separate areas of the screen and score big points without completing a whole 75%. Other than the kicks, there are sparks out to get you. They run the edges of the blocks that you have completed, trying to get you. So making blocks, avoiding a series of sadistically evil lines, and sparks. Doesn't sound complex, right? The premise is very simple, but the game is fantastically fun and very challenging. Some have described kicks as like playing an Etch-a-Sketch from hell. That analogy isn't that far off. Kicks has a few follow-ups in the arcade. It has Kicks 2 Tournament in 1982, which was only a slightly tweaked version of the original. The line and block colors were changed, everything was sped up a little bit, and they added the ability to score an extra life if you can capture 90% of the board. Super Kicks was released in 1987. Taito tried to cutesify the game. It is very cartoonish. The blocks you complete now reveal parts of a picture rather than just being solid colors. And this is where I have to knock off huge points for Super Kicks. They remove the multiple speeds. There are power-ups that they give you to grab now. That takes a little bit of the strategy out of the game, that risk-reward gameplay. Also the kicks, that evil multi-line lightsaber humming death machine. It was replaced by some stupid-looking green thing. To me, it's not nearly as intimidating. There was also a prototype in 1995 of a new sequel called Twin Kicks, but it was never released. I've played the prototype and it was similar to Super Kicks. The version I've played still wasn't ready for prime time. Kicks has a rather unique legacy. It has been imitated many times, the oddest of which are Japanese-only adult video games, and I mean adult. They use the premise of Super Kicks, of the blocks revealing pictures. The games would have racy pictures that would get revealed as you captured parts of the board. The most notable of these style games was the Fantasia series by Comad. These were Japanese-only releases, so you won't find them in any American arcades. Kicks was supported to almost every home console you can think of. The Atari 5200, Atari 8-bit, Apple II, Commodore 64, DOS, Amiga, Game Boy, NES, and the Atari Lynx. It also appears in Taito Legends 2 collection for the PS2, Xbox, and Windows, and Taito Legends Power Up for the PSP. It had a pseudo-sequel made for the Game Boy Color called Kicks Adventure that adds a map to find different challenges and added more elements to the game to make it more challenging. There was also another game that is hard to determine whether it's Kicks or not. There was an arcade game from Taito called Volfied, released in 1989. It plays much like Kicks, but it doesn't carry the Kicks name. The home port of Volfied were known as Ultimate Kicks for the Sega Genesis and Kicks Neo for the PlayStation. The arcade version of Volfied, other than similar gameplay, appears to have nothing to do with any of the previous games. Kicks also does have a new version that has been made available on the Xbox Live Arcade called Kicks Plus Plus. Thanks again for checking out Classic Credits. Make sure to subscribe to the Super Secret Bonus Level YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. The new website is almost ready for prime time. See you next time, where we once again hope to show you a game that you may have forgotten or never even heard about.
Versus